My girlfriend texted, "I'll be at Jake's tonight, don't wait up." I replied, "Have fun." Then I packed all her belongings and left them at Jake's apartment door with a note, "She's all yours." When she called at midnight from his building's lobby, original post I. 32 male. Still can't wrap my head around the level of disrespect some people are capable of. Been with my girlfriend, 29, for 2 years. She moved into my apartment about 8 months ago. Important detail that becomes relevant later. I'd been renting this place for 4 years before she showed up. The lease? Just my name. The rent? $2,100 monthly, all me. She kicked in $400 for groceries and utilities, claimed she was saving for her business. Spoiler, there was no business. Things got weird about 6 weeks back. She was glued to her phone, going out more with work friends, being distant. I'm not the jealous type, so I figured everyone needs their space sometimes. Thursday evening, I'm making dinner when my phone buzzes. Her, "Hey, staying at a friend's place tonight, don't wait up." Normal enough. I asked which friend. She said a coworker. They were working on a project. Cool. Saved her some leftovers, went to bed alone. Friday morning, she still wasn't home. Texted her. She read it, but took hours to respond. Said the project was intense, she'd probably stay another night. Okay, weird, but whatever. Friday evening, I get this text. Her, "I'll be at his place tonight, don't wait up." Not my friend's place, not my coworker's place. She literally named some dude, told me, her boyfriend, not to wait up while she spent the night at another man's apartment. I stared at that message. The audacity was just breathtaking. Typed back, "Have fun." Then I got to work. See, my girlfriend treated my apartment like her personal storage facility. Her clothes monopolized 75% of the closet. Her shoes everywhere. Bathroom counter buried under makeup and hair products. Yoga mat in the living room, her books on my shelves, these decorative pillows on my couch that I hated but tolerated because relationship compromise or whatever. Time to return all that compromise. Hit up the dollar store for trash bags. Spent the next few hours packing every single thing that belonged to her. Methodical. Thorough. If it was hers, it went in a bag. Clothes, toiletries, that juicer she used exactly once, laptop charger, hair straightener, everything. Found dude's address on her iPad that she left on the coffee table. Looked him up on social media. Typical gym bro posting shirtless pics constantly. Yeah, she definitely had a type. Made 3 trips to his apartment building. Stacked everything neatly outside his door. Wrote on the back of a receipt, "She's all yours. Enjoy the hair products." Her ex. Snapped a photo for my records. Drove home feeling surprisingly light. Called a 24-hour locksmith. Had my locks changed by midnight. Cost $180. Worth every penny. Phone started ringing around 1 in the morning. Her. Sent it to voicemail. She called 12 more times before I turned on Do Not Disturb and went to sleep. Woke up Saturday to 23 missed calls and texts. "WTF did you do? Why is my stuff at his apartment? This isn't funny. Let me in now. You can't just kick me out. We need to talk like adults." I replied once. "You said you were staying at his place. I helped you move in. You're welcome." Update 1. The last few days have been absolutely wild. Saturday afternoon, she showed up at my door. Watched her on the doorbell camera trying her key, realizing it didn't work, then pounding on the door. "Open this door right now. I know you're in there." Spoke through the camera. "You said you were staying at his place, so stay there." "That's not what I meant. You know that. Your exact words were, 'I'll be at his place tonight, don't wait up.' Pretty clear to me. We were just hanging out." "You're being completely ridiculous." "Cool, hang out there permanently then." Full waterworks started, dramatic sobbing. "Please, can we just talk? I made a mistake. You're overreacting." "Nah, I'm good. Have a nice life." Stopped responding. She camped outside my door for 20 minutes, alternating between crying and screaming, before finally leaving. The texts kept coming. "You're so childish. I need my work clothes. I have an important meeting Monday. My parents are going to hear about this. He doesn't even want me here." That last one was interesting. Didn't respond to any of them. Sunday morning, her mother called. "Oh, this was gonna be good." "Hello? What the hell do you think you're doing?" Super aggressive right out the gate. "Sorry, who is this?" "You know who this is? You threw my daughter out on the street." "I didn't throw anyone anywhere. She chose to stay at another man's apartment. I relocated her belongings to where she wanted to be." She made a mistake. Young people make mistakes. You don't abandon someone you love over a mistake. She told her boyfriend she was spending the night at another dude's place. Twice. That's not a mistake, that's a choice. She was going through something. She needed space to figure things out. Great. She's got all the space she needs now, anywhere that isn't here. That's your apartment. You can't just lock her out. That's illegal. Actually, I can. She's not on the lease. Never was. She was a guest who overstayed her welcome. Her mom went off. How cruel I was, how her daughter gave me 2 years of her life, how I owed her basic human decency. Let her rant for a few minutes. Did she mention why her stuff is at this guy's place? Silence. Because she told me she was spending the night there at another man's apartment, while in a relationship with me. So if we're talking about basic human decency, maybe start with your daughter. Click. She hung up. Monday afternoon, got a call from my apartment complex office. Apparently, my ex and her mother showed up claiming a domestic situation and demanding to be let into her apartment. The property manager asked for a lease with her name. They couldn't produce one because she was never on it. Manager called to confirm she wasn't authorized. I confirmed. They got escorted out. Got a text, "I can't believe you're doing this, after everything." Finally replied, "You stayed at another man's place twice and told me about it. What did you think would happen?" It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? No response. But then Tuesday, things escalated hard. She filed a police report claiming I illegally evicted her. 2 cops showed up at my door Wednesday evening. "Sir, we've got a call about a possible illegal eviction." Showed them my lease, only my name. Showed them her texts about staying at dude's place. Explained she was a guest who contributed $400 monthly for utilities and groceries, nothing toward the actual rent. The older cop looked at his partner. "So she told you she was staying somewhere else, and you believed her?" "Exactly." The younger one was fighting a grin. "And you delivered her stuff there?" Seemed like the helpful thing to do. They confirmed I was legally fine since she had no tenant rights. They seemed annoyed they had to come out for this. As they left, the older cop said, "Between you and me, I'd have done the same." Thursday is when the real entitlement started showing. Started getting messages from mutual friends. She'd been telling everyone I violently threw her out with no warning and left her homeless and destitute. Complete victim narrative. Some people were buying it. My college buddy called. "Dude, what happened? She's saying you lost it and kicked her out over nothing. She mentioned spending 2 nights at another dude's apartment and texting me about it." "What?" Sent him the screenshots. Long silence. "Oh. Okay, that's completely different." Sent the same screenshots to 3 other friends who'd been giving me the side eye. The narrative shifted pretty quick. Friday, new tactic. Text from her. "I need my mail. You're legally required to forward it." Actually looked this up. Yeah, you're supposed to forward mail, but she never officially changed her address to mine. Everything still went to her parents' house. She just had occasional packages delivered to my place. Me. "What mail?" "Everything goes to your parents." Her, "My packages, I have stuff being delivered." Me, "Give me a forwarding address." "I don't have one yet." Not my problem. She tried another angle. "I have important stuff in that apartment, things I need." Like what? My grandmother's necklace. This was hilarious because she'd never mentioned any grandmother's necklace in 2 years. Describe it. "It's silver with a blue stone, really important to me." "I'll look." I didn't look. There was no necklace. Monday morning, my landlord called directly. "Hey, weird situation. Woman claiming to be your girlfriend called saying you're subletting and she wants to take over the lease." Almost laughed out loud. Not subletting anything. She's an ex who was never on the lease, trying to cause problems. Figured. She also asked about your lease renewal date? My lease was up in 3 months. Suddenly had an idea. Actually been thinking about moving. Might not renew. Sorry to hear that. You've been great. Thanks. I'll give proper notice if I do. Didn't tell my ex this. Let her think she had time to find some loophole. That night, started seriously apartment hunting. Found a nice 1-bedroom in a different neighborhood for $1,850. Actually cheaper. Put in an application. Wednesday, her brother called. Family was really mobilizing. "You know she's couch surfing, right? Sleeping on friends' couches? You're really gonna do her like that?" She told me she was staying at another guy's apartment. Believed her. That was 1 time, 2 times, whatever. She's sorry. She's sorry she lost free housing. That's different. You're really throwing away 2 years over this? She threw it away when she disrespected our entire relationship. I'm just accepting reality. No wonder she looked elsewhere, man. You're cold. Have a nice day. Blocked him when he kept texting. Thursday, mutual friend dropped some info. My ex and Jim Bro were officially dating. Posted on social media and everything. Less than 2 weeks after getting caught. The comments were gold. People asking, "Didn't you just break up with me?" And, "Wow, that was fast." Her response to one comment, "Sometimes you don't realize what you have until you're free to explore it." But also confirmed what I knew. This wasn't some drunken mistake. She'd been planning her exit strategy, just needed me to fund it a little longer. Got approved for the new apartment Friday. Move-in date in 6 weeks, right before my current lease ends. Told my best friend who's helping me move. No one else knows. Ex keeps texting every few days asking to talk things through. Haven't responded in over a week. Update 2. Been about 2 months since I changed those locks. Things got so much worse before they got better. First, her texts evolved into this escalating pattern of manipulation. Week 1 to 2. I miss you so much, and we can work through this. And please just talk to me. Week 3 to 4, you're being immature, and real men communicate, and this silent treatment is emotional abuse. Week 5 to 6, I deserve closure, and you owe me a conversation, and I'm not going away. Week 7 to 8, I know you're still at the apartment, I've driven by. That last one was genuinely creepy. She was stalking my building, but she had no clue I was quietly moving out. Been taking stuff to the new place in small loads over several weeks. Clothes, books, kitchen stuff. Nothing obvious missing if someone glanced through the windows. My lease was ending in 2 weeks, and she had zero idea. But remember how I said things got worse? Buckle up. Week 6 brought a new level of crazy. She somehow got my boss's email and sent him a message about my erratic behavior and mental health crisis. Said I'd suddenly become violent and unstable, and she was concerned for my coworkers' safety. My boss called me into his office. I'd been at this company for 6 years, never had a single issue. He looked uncomfortable. Got a weird email? Want to explain? Told him the whole story. Showed him the texts about her staying at another guy's place. Explained the legal eviction thing, the cops confirming it was fine, all of it. He sighed. Figured it was something like that. She painted quite the picture, though. Said you were spiraling and making threats. The only threat I made was to my own living situation by changing my locks. Just document everything, okay? Cover yourself. People get vindictive during breakups. No kidding. Week 7, her mom showed up at my apartment again. Different tactic this time. Brought tears instead of anger. Watched her through the doorbell camera. Didn't open the door. Please, she said to the camera. My daughter is struggling. She's depressed. She's not eating. You were together 2 years. Don't you care about her at all? Spoke through the speaker. She made her choices. I made mine. She made a mistake. One mistake. You're really gonna punish her forever? It wasn't one mistake. It was a series of choices showing complete disrespect. She can deal with the consequences. What if she does something drastic? What if she hurts herself? That'll be on your conscience. And there it was. Emotional blackmail. If you're genuinely concerned about her mental health, get her professional help. Not my responsibility anymore. Her mom started screaming. Called me every name in the book. Neighbors came out to see what was happening. Had to call the cops myself to get her removed from the property. The cops recognized my address from the previous call. Same older cop showed up. Sir, we've been here before about your ex-girlfriend, right? Yep, now it's her mother refusing to leave. He went outside, talked to her mom. Came back shaking his head. She's leaving, but she's threatening to sue you for emotional damages to her daughter, just so you know. Let her try. I've got everything documented. Week 8 was when Jim Bro entered the drama personally. Got a DM from him on social media. Yo man, you need to back off. Stop ignoring her messages. She's going through a lot because of you. Be a man and give her closure at least. This is getting ridiculous. The dude who was sleeping with my girlfriend was lecturing me about being a man. The irony was unreal. I replied, you wanted her. You got her. Now you deal with her. She's your problem now. Good luck. His response, why you gotta be like that? She cares about you, bro. Just give her some money to get on her feet. It's the right thing to do. Wait, money? Let me get this straight. You're dating her now, but you want me to give her money? Just to help her transition, man. She's struggling. Struggling because she lost free housing after cheating? Yeah, that's called consequences. Ask her about those. You're really gonna be that petty? Over what, like $2,000? $2,500. He literally put a price tag on it. Not happening. Lose my number. Blocked him immediately. But this is where it gets absolutely wild. Week 9. I did my final walkthrough of my old apartment with the property manager. Place was immaculate. Got my full security deposit back, $2,500. All my stuff was already at the new place. Old apartment was empty. Lease officially ended in 3 days. That same day I get a text from my ex. We need to meet. Face to face. I'm not asking anymore. Tomorrow, coffee shop on Main Street, 2 p.m. Be there. The audacity of this woman to make demands. Didn't respond. She texted again, if you don't show up, I'm coming to your apartment and I'm not leaving until we talk. Oh, this was perfect. I replied, fine, tomorrow at 2. Didn't show up, obviously, but I did drive by the coffee shop around 2:15. Saw her sitting there, all dressed up, checking her phone constantly. Drove past and went to my new place. She texted, where are you? Changed my mind. Not interested in meeting. I've been waiting here for 30 minutes. Okay. You're such a jerk. Cool. She tried calling. Didn't answer. She called 6 more times. Sent to voicemail. Then came the text that made me actually laugh out loud. Fine, I'm coming to the apartment. We're settling this today. Go ahead. 20 minutes later. Why is there furniture in the window? Did you redecorate? Oh. The new tenant had already moved in early since I'd left early. Nope. Whose stuff is this? New tenants probably. What? Moved out. Lease ended. Didn't I mention that? The phone started ringing immediately. Declined. Rang again. Declined. Then the texts came rapid fire. You moved? Where? When were you going to tell me? I had stuff there. Where's my stuff? You can't just leave without telling me. Replied to just one. Your stuff left with you the first night you told me you were staying at his place, and I don't owe you my forwarding address. Enjoy your life. Blocked her number. Blocked her mom. Blocked her brother. Blocked Jim Bro. Blocked anyone who might relay information. Final update, 4 months since changing those locks. Time for the final update, because this story just keeps giving. So after I moved and blocked everyone, things went quiet for maybe a week. Figured it was over. Week 2 after the move, got a letter delivered to my new apartment. She somehow found my address. Not hard, I guess. Probably hired one of those address lookup services. The letter was 6 pages. 6 pages. Handwritten. Absolute manifesto. Highlights included how our love was meant to be and I was throwing it away out of pride. A detailed list of everything she'd sacrificed for our relationship, mostly things I'd never asked her to do. Accusations that I was controlling and manipulative for. Changing my locks after she cheated. A demand for $3,000 to help her get back on her feet since I'd ruined her life. Threats to tell everyone the truth about who you really are. Ended with, I'll always love you even though you've broken my heart. The cognitive dissonance was absolutely stunning. Took photos of every page for documentation and tossed it. Week 3, the tell everyone the truth threat became reality. She posted this long social media rant about financial abuse and being trapped in a controlling relationship and how I kicked her out with nothing. The post went semi-viral in our social circle. Lots of sympathy comments, lots of "OMGing, that's terrible and you deserve better" responses. Watched it for a day, then dropped the nuclear option. Posted the screenshots. All of them. Her texts about staying at dude's place, the timeline, everything. With a caption, since we're sharing stories, here's the full one. She spent 2 nights at another man's apartment while we were together. When I changed the locks to my apartment that only I paid rent on, she claimed abuse. Decide for yourself. The comment section absolutely erupted. People who'd been sympathetic turned on her instantly. Her own friends started questioning her in the comments. Someone tagged Jim Bro asking if this was about him. She deleted her post within an hour. Too late though, screenshots live forever. Her mom commented on my post, "You're a disgusting human being for publicly humiliating my daughter like this." I replied, "She publicly lied about me. I publicly corrected the record. That's called accountability." Her mom kept arguing in the comments until several mutual friends told her to stop. Week 4 brought the best intel yet. Remember Jim Bro? Mutual friend told me he'd kicked her out. Apparently living together in his apartment wasn't the romantic dream she'd imagined. He got tired of her mess, her constant drama, her not contributing financially. Sound familiar? She was back living with her parents. An hour outside the city, the commute she'd been trying to avoid. Week 5. I ran into one of her coworkers at the grocery store. We'd met a few times at work events. "Hey, how've you been?" "Pretty good actually. You?" "Good, good. Hey, sorry about everything with X. That situation sounded rough." "Yeah, it was what it was." She leaned in. "Just so you know, the whole office knew something was up." She was always talking about Jim Bro, showing people his Instagram, taking long lunches with him. We tried to tell her she was being obvious, but shrugged. "Appreciate you telling me. You handled it better than most would have." She thought she was being slick. Week 6 got one final attempt at contact. A mutual friend, someone I barely knew, texted me, "Hey, X wanted me to pass along that she's really struggling and could use some financial help. Even just a few $100s would help." The entitlement was insane. She made her choices. She can deal with the consequences. Don't contact me about her again. Come on, man. It's just a few $100. You're clearly doing fine. Exactly, because I'm not supporting someone who betrayed me. Tell her to ask the guy she left me for. That's pretty cold. And cheating isn't? Lose my number. Block them too. That was 6 weeks ago. Haven't heard anything since. As for me, life's honestly great. The new apartment is perfect, smaller, but it's mine. No one's clutter, no one's drama, no one's entitlement. Work's been going well, got a raise last month. Been going to the gym more consistently, not for any revenge body thing, just because I have time and energy now. Started seeing someone new actually. Met her through a friend. She has her own place, her own career, her own life. Doesn't need me to bankroll her existence. Revolutionary concept apparently. Told her the whole story on our 3rd date. Her response? "So she told you she was staying at another guy's place and expected you to just accept that?" The audacity. Exactly. One of my friends asked if I felt bad about everything. Honest answer? Not even a little bit. She made every single choice that led to her current situation. She chose to cheat. She chose to disrespect me. She chose to tell me about it like I'd just be cool with it. She chose to paint herself as the victim when reality caught up. All I did was refuse to be a doormat. Changed my locks, moved apartments, blocked her everywhere, and moved on with my life. The revenge wasn't elaborate. It was just letting her face the consequences of her own actions without a safety net. She wanted to keep her comfortable lifestyle funded by me while exploring other options. When that didn't work, she wanted me to fund her transition to her new life. When that didn't work, she wanted me to be the villain in her victim story. None of it worked because I just stopped participating in her drama. That empty parking space at Jim Bro's place when she realized her stuff was there? That locked door when she couldn't get into my apartment? That new tenant in the window when she thought she had time to manipulate her way back? Every single moment she realized she'd miscalculated? Yeah, those were satisfying. But the real satisfaction is knowing I trusted myself enough to walk away from someone who thought I was stupid enough to accept that level of disrespect. To anyone reading this who's dealing with similar stuff, you're not crazy, you're not overreacting. When someone shows you who they are through their actions, believe them. And don't let anyone guilt you into accepting disrespect just because you have history. Life's too short to be someone's backup plan while they figure out if they can do better. Final update. X's mom tried to friend or request me on social media last week. Declined. Not interested. Current mood. Free. Peace. My girlfriend texted, "Pack your stuff. I'm bringing someone home tonight." I replied, "Already packed." Then I left the keys to the apartment I'd been paying for on the counter. Her someone left when the landlord showed up at 9 a.m. asking why rent wasn't paid. I, 26 male, was sitting at my desk working from home when the text came through. Tuesday, 3:24 p.m. Been with Jenna, 24, for 2 years, living together for the past 8 months. Pack your stuff. I'm bringing someone home tonight. Don't make this awkward. I stared at my phone, read it 3 times. This wasn't a joke. Jenna didn't do humor like this. My hands were surprisingly steady as I typed back. Already packed. Because here's the thing, I'd been planning to leave anyway. Just hadn't pulled the trigger yet. The relationship had been dying for months. She'd been increasingly dismissive, treating me like furniture that occasionally paid bills. Going out till 4 a.m. with friends I'd never met. Taking calls in the bathroom with the shower running. But this text, this was the gift I needed. See, while Jenna thought she was the queen of this castle, she'd forgotten one crucial detail. I was the only name on the lease, had been since day one. When she moved in, we'd talked about adding her, but she said why bother with paperwork. I'd been covering the full $2,100 rent because she was between jobs. For 6 months now. Her contribution? Occasionally buying groceries with her parents' money. I didn't pack my stuff, I packed hers. Took me about 2 hours. Her clothes, makeup, that expensive hair straightener, the ring light for her influencer post that had 300 followers. All of it went into the boxes I'd been saving in the closet, neatly labeled bedroom, bathroom, living room. Left them stacked by the door. Then I called my landlord, Mr. Rodriguez. Good guy, always been straight with me. Hey, Mr. Rodriguez? Quick question. If someone's been living in my apartment but isn't on the lease, what's the policy? They're a guest. No legal rights to the property. Why? You having issues? My ex-girlfriend needs to collect her things. Want to make sure everything's above board. Ex? Sorry to hear that, kid. But yeah, she's got no claim to the unit. You need me to be there when she gets her stuff? Actually, that might be helpful. She's planning to bring someone over tonight. Around what time could you swing by tomorrow morning? I'm doing maintenance checks at 9 a.m. anyway. I'll start with your unit. Perfect. I grabbed my laptop, my documents folder, and a duffel bag of clothes. Called my buddy Tom, who'd been offering me his spare room for weeks, saying I needed to get away from Jenna's toxicity. Remember that spare room? I'm taking you up on it. Finally, what happened? I'll explain over beer. Before leaving, I did 3 things. 1. Took photos of everything, every room, every corner. Timestamp evidence of the apartment's condition. 2. Left the keys on the counter with a note. As requested, I've packed and left. Your belongings are by the door. Lease is in my name only. Please be out by 9 a.m. tomorrow when the landlord arrives for inspection. Best wishes with your new situation. 3. Changed my Netflix, Hulu, and Wi-Fi passwords. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Absolutely. By 5 p.m. I was at Tom's, cold beer in hand, watching my phone blow up. Update 1, next day. The text avalanche started around 8 p.m. that night. Where are you? This isn't funny. Answer me. You can't just leave. We need to talk about this. Baby, please, I didn't mean it like that. Then the calls started. 23 of them. I didn't answer a single one. Tom was reading them over my shoulder, laughing his ass off. She really thought she could kick you out of your own apartment. Around 11 p.m., the tone shifted. You're being so immature. A real man would face this. I'm going to call the cops for theft. Those are my things you packed. You have no right to touch my stuff. That last one made me actually laugh out loud. The audacity. Then came the voice message from an unknown number at 1 a.m. It was a dude's voice. Hey man, this is Dylan. I'm with Jenna. She says you took her stuff and locked her out. That's messed up. You need to come back and sort this out, like adults. Dylan. So that's who she was bringing home to my apartment. I didn't respond, but I did screenshot everything for my records. The real entertainment started at 9:07 a.m. when Mr. Rodriguez showed up. Jenna started texting frantically. WTF, the landlord is here. He says I'm not on the lease. You didn't tell me he was coming. This is harassment. Dylan left, you asshole. I have nowhere to go. Mr. Rodriguez called me around 9:30. Son, your girlfriend is having a complete meltdown. She's claiming she lives here, but I've explained she's not on any paperwork. I've given her an hour to remove her belongings. Ex-girlfriend. And thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. She also tried to say you were the one not on the lease. I had to show her the documentation. The young man with her looked very uncomfortable and left about 5 minutes ago. Dylan bounced the moment he realized Jenna had been lying about whose apartment it was. Beautiful. Then came the call from Jenna's mom, Diane. I actually picked this one up because I'd always liked Diane. Honey, what's going on? Jenna's hysterical, saying you threw her out? I forwarded her the screenshot of Jenna's original text. Long pause. She sent this to you? Yesterday afternoon, while I was working. Oh honey, I'm so sorry. She told me you cheated and she caught you. Diane, I've been paying her rent for 6 months while she finds herself. I've never cheated. She texted me to leave so she could bring Dylan over. Dylan? Who's Dylan? That's what I'd like to know. Another long pause. I'll come get her, and her things. I'm sorry, sweetheart, you deserve better. Around noon, Jenna sent one last barrage. You've ruined everything. Dylan won't talk to me now. I'm homeless because of you. I hope you're happy. You'll never find anyone like me. I responded once, I know. That's the point. Then I blocked her number. Update 2, 1 week later. Thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. Wednesday morning, I get a call from my boss. Someone had sent an anonymous email to HR claiming I was unstable and violent and had thrown a woman onto the street. The email included selective screenshots of Jenna's texts, making it look like I'd randomly kicked her out, conveniently omitting her original message. Fortunately, my boss knows me well. I showed him the full conversation, including the timestamp of her original "pack your stuff" text sent while I was logged into our work system from home. Jesus, he said. She really tried to play you like that? And now she's trying to get me fired. Don't worry about it. I'll handle HR. Document everything, though. But Jenna wasn't done. Thursday, I started getting Venmo requests. Rent assistance, $2,100. Emotional damage, $500. Moving expenses, $300. Time wasted, $1,000. Each one with increasingly unhinged notes about how I owed her for establishing residency and domestic partnership rights. I screenshotted them all and sent them to a lawyer friend who literally laughed. She has absolutely nothing. She was a guest. Keep those, though, in case she escalates. Friday brought a new development. Tom showed me Jenna's Instagram story. She'd posted a crying selfie with the caption, "When you think you know someone for 2 years and they leave you homeless overnight." Narcissistic abuse is real. #domestic violence survivor starting over. The comments were mixed. Some of her friends were rallying around her with "men are trash" energy. But then something interesting happened. Dylan's ex-girlfriend found the post and commented, "Is this why Dylan was at some random apartment at 1 a.m. last Tuesday, when he was supposedly at his brother's?" The comment got deleted, but not before several people saw it and started asking questions. Turns out, Dylan had a girlfriend of 3 years. By Saturday, the narrative was crumbling. One of Jenna's friends, Alicia, who I'd always got along with, messaged me. "Hey, just wanted you to know not everyone's buying her story. She told 3 different versions at brunch. First you cheated, then you were abusive, then you were controlling. Also, she admitted she'd been talking to Dylan for months. Sorry you had to deal with this." Sunday afternoon, I get a text from an unknown number. "This is Dylan. I want to apologize. She told me it was her place and you were a stalker ex who wouldn't leave. I didn't know the situation. I'm dealing with my own mess now thanks to this. She played us both." I didn't respond, but I did appreciate the confirmation that she'd been lying to everyone. Monday, the grand finale. Jenna's dad, Robert, called me. Robert's a stand-up guy, old school, believes in accountability. "Son, I need to apologize for my daughter. Diane showed me everything. We're mortified. I appreciate that, Robert. I want you to know we're not enabling this. She's staying with us, but she's got 30 days to find a job in her own place. No more free rides." "You don't have to." "Yes, I do. You supported her for 6 months while she lied to us about working. That ends now. Also, did she really try to get you fired?" "She did." He sighed heavily. "We've failed somewhere as parents. I'm sorry, son. You're a good man. Don't let this sour you on relationships." That actually meant a lot. Final update, 3 weeks later. Life has a funny way of serving justice. Remember Dylan? Well, his now ex-girlfriend reached out to me. Not for anything romantic, she just wanted to compare notes. Turns out Jenna had been promising Dylan she was single, living alone, and that I was just some creepy ex who kept showing up. She'd been meeting him at hotels for months, paying with a credit card her parents didn't know about. The ex-girlfriend, Mika, was savage. She put together a whole timeline with receipts and posted it in their friend group's chat. Jenna's reputation imploded overnight. Even her ride-or-die friends started distancing themselves when they realized how many lies she'd been telling. But the real karma came from an unexpected source: the apartment building. Mr. Rodriguez called me last week. "Hey, I wanted to check in. You still interested in the unit?" "Actually, yeah, Tom's great, but I miss having my own space." "Good, because I have a situation. Your ex-girlfriend showed up yesterday with a rental application. Used you as a reference, if you can believe that." I actually laughed. "She what?" "She also claimed she'd been a tenant for 8 months. When I told her I knew she was never on the lease and reminded her about the scene she caused, she accused me of discrimination and threatened to sue." "Of course she did. Well, I've banned her from the property. Thought you should know in case she tries to contact you." "She did try. Created a fake Instagram account to message me. You've destroyed my life. I can't get an apartment anywhere because I have no rental history. This is your fault." I didn't respond, but I did notice something interesting. She'd tagged herself at a new job, a coffee shop downtown. "I know the owner through my work." Without saying anything negative, I mentioned I knew someone who worked there. He laughed and said, "Yeah, your ex. She lasted 3 days, showed up late twice, and told a customer our coffee was beneath her standards. We let her go." The last I heard from Diane, Jenna was still living with them, still unemployed, and had started selling her designer bags and shoes to make ends meet. Robert stuck to his guns. She had to pay rent or leave. She chose to pay rent, which meant goodbye to the lifestyle she'd been living on everyone else's dime. Dylan moved to another city for a fresh start. AKA his ex-girlfriend made their breakup very public. As for me, I'm back in my apartment. Got a promotion at work. Turns out handling a crazy ex with grace impressed my boss. Started dating casually, nothing serious. Just coffee and conversation with people who actually have jobs and don't text their partners to leave so they can bring randoms home. Tom summed it up best over beers last night. She really thought she was the main character in everyone's story. Yeah, well, she learned otherwise. Dude, the fact that she tried to rent your own apartment, that's next-level delusion. The best part? If she'd just broken up with me like a normal person, I probably would have helped her with first month's rent somewhere else. I'm not heartless. But instead, she tried to power play you out of your own home, and played herself right into her childhood bedroom with a curfew and chores. We clinked beers to that. Looking back, that text, "Pack your stuff," was the best message she ever sent me. It revealed who she really was and freed me from a relationship where I was nothing more than a wallet with occasional benefits. She wanted me to pack my stuff and leave? I did her one better. I packed her stuff and reclaimed my life. Her entitlement was her downfall. She genuinely believed she could text me to leave my own apartment, bring another guy there, and I'd just... what? Slink away quietly? Pay for the privilege of being displaced? Nah. Actions have consequences. She learned that at 9 a.m. when Mr. Rodriguez knocked on the door she thought was hers. Edit. Since a lot of people are asking, yes, this is 100% legal. She was never on the lease, never paid rent, was legally a guest. I gave her more notice than required, which was none, and didn't touch any of her belongings except to pack them safely. The landlord handled the actual removal. Stay smart, people. Always know your rights.